Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a question that's got more twists and turns than an outback road trip. Should you study in Australia? Now I know what you're thinking. Australia, land of sunshine, shrimp on the Barbie, and more sharks per square inch than a Steve Irwin documentary. But hold on to your akubas, because we're diving deep into the pros and cons of studying in the land of Oz, comparing it to those old classics, the USA, the UK, even a little continental European jaunt for good measure. We'll be dissecting this beast of a decision from every angle, whether you're a fresh-faced high school grad after a bachelor's, a master's maven looking to level up, or a PhD scholar chasing groundbreaking research. And because we're not just about hitting the books, we'll spill the tea on what happens graduation. Can you actually stay in Australia, or will you be hopping back on that plane faster than you can say Vegemite? So grab your Tim Tams, settle in, and let's get this academic adventure on the road. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the kangaroo in the outback. Why are we even considering Australia? Well, my friends, Australia is becoming a bit of a celebrity in the international student scene, and for good reason. First off, the education here is top-notch. Australian universities are like the Hugh Jackman of academia, talented, respected, and consistently ranking among the best globally. I mean, the University of Melbourne, ANU, UNSW, they're all in the global top 50. They're practically academic royalty, but it's not just about prestige, is it? It's about what you can actually do with that fancy degree. And in Australia, you can actually do quite a lot. Students can work, imagine that, up to 40 hours per fortnight while studying and full-time during breaks. That's right, earn some Aussie dollars while you learn. And here's the real kicker, the post-study work visa, or PSWV, as the cool kids call it. Finish your bachelor's or master's and bam, you get 2 to 4 years to work in Australia. PhD graduates, hold on to your hats because you're looking at up to 6 years. That's practically enough time to become an honorary Aussie. Australia's immigration system is like that friend who always brings extra snacks to the party, generous and welcoming. Their points-based system favors skilled graduates, especially those in fields like IT, engineering and healthcare. So if you've got the skills, Australia's rolling out the welcome mat. Sure, Australia's not exactly known for being cheap, but compared to the USA and the UK, it's practically a bargain. Tuition fees are generally lower, and you might actually be able to afford to eat something other than 2-minute noodles. The tyranny of distance, my friends. Australia is about as far away from, well, most places as you can get, so if you're prone to homesickness, be prepared for some hefty airfares. So you're fresh out of high school, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to take on the world, 1 degree at a time. But where should you embark on this academic adventure? Well, if you're after a bachelor's degree, Australia might just be your academic soulmate. First off, forget those 4-year slogs you've heard about in the USA. In Australia, most bachelor's degrees are like a whirlwind romance, short, sweet, and over in just 3 years. That's right, 1 less year of tuition fees and instant noodles. Speaking of work, remember those generous work rights I mentioned? Well, they're not just for show. Imagine this. You're studying, say, business, and you snag a part-time gig at a cool startup. Not only are you earning some extra cash, but you're gaining real-world experience that'll make your CV shine brighter than a Bondi Beach sunset. Australia's skilled migration program is like a beacon of hope for graduates wanting to stay on after their studies. So you've conquered the bachelor's degree, donned the cap and gown, and maybe even done a victory lap around campus. But the thirst for knowledge still burns bright, and you're ready to take on a master's degree. Should Australia be your next academic conquest? Let's weigh the options, shall we? First off, flexibility is the name of the game. Australia's master's programs are like a choose-your-own-adventure novel with options galore. You've got your 1.5-year programs, your 2-year programs. It's all about finding the perfect fit for your academic goals. Compare that to the UK, where master's programs are often a rigid 1-year sprint to the finish line. And let's not forget about those post-study work rights. A master's degree from Australia can unlock up to 4 years of work bliss. That's 4 years to climb the career ladder, soak up the Aussie lifestyle, and perfect your g'day mate. Australian universities are all about bridging the gap between academia and the real world. So whether you're studying engineering, IT, or even something a bit more niche, you'll find plenty of opportunities to network with potential employers and get your foot in the door. So you're a card-carrying member of the academic elite, ready to embark on the intellectual odyssey that is a PhD. You're after groundbreaking research, world-renowned supervisors, and maybe a Nobel Prize or two. No pressure. But where should you set up your academic base camp? Well, my friends, Australia is making a compelling case for itself as the ultimate PhD playground. First off, let's talk about the elephant in the research lab, funding. Now I know what you're thinking. Graham, PhDs and funding are about as compatible as a koala and a didgeridoo. But hold on to your lab coats because Australia offers surprisingly generous stipends for PhD students. We're talking up to 35,000 Australian dollars per year. That's enough to cover your living expenses and maybe even afford a few avocado toasts. And the perks don't stop there. Remember that golden ticket, the post-study work visa? Well, for PhD graduates, it's practically a blank check. You get a whopping 6 years to work in Australia after you graduate. That's 6 years to contribute your newfound knowledge, make valuable connections, and maybe even snag that elusive tenure-track position. Australia is home to some seriously impressive research facilities. From cutting-edge labs to extensive libraries, you'll have everything you need to conduct world-class research. Think of it as your academic playground, complete with all the latest and greatest equipment. Studying in Australia means you'll have plenty of opportunities to unwind after a long day in the lab. Alright, you've slogged through years of study, conquered countless exams, and maybe even shed a tear or two over late-night assignments. You've earned that degree, but now the real question is, can you stay in Australia and enjoy the fruits of your labor? The good news is, Australia's immigration system is far more welcoming than the USA's H-1B lottery or the UK's salary thresholds. It's like comparing a friendly wave to a brick wall, darling. If you've got the skills and qualifications, Australia is ready to roll out the red carpet. For skilled graduates, there are two main pathways to permanent residency: the Skilled Independent Visa, 189, and State Nomination, 190 or 491. The Skilled Independent Visa is like the VIP pass of the immigration world. It lets you live and work anywhere in Australia. State Nomination is more like a matchmaking service. States and territories select skilled migrants who meet their specific needs. But it's not just about visas and paperwork, darling. Australia offers an unparalleled quality of life. So there you have it, my friends. We've journeyed through the highs and lows, the pros and cons, the shrimp on the Barbie, and the Vegemite sandwiches. The million-dollar question remains: is Australia the best choice for your study abroad adventure? Well, as with all things in life, it depends. If you're after post-study work rights, a clear pathway to permanent residency, and a lifestyle that's the envy of the world, then Australia is hard to beat. But if pure academic prestige or highly specialized research programs are your top priorities, then the USA, the UK, or even Europe might be a better fit. Ultimately, the decision is yours, my friend. But hey, at least now you're armed with the knowledge to make an informed choice. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more informative videos like this. It helps the YouTube algorithm and supports my channel's growth.